megalomaniac,
Hi,
horrible
everybody.
individual
We
cat.
are
Elon Musk
officially
sucks.
in our next session for the Gentlemen's Club. Listen, I can't fuss about us saying Elon Musk sucks because it's true. He sucks the biggest. He's the fucking worst. But welcome in, everybody. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I'm just noticing that you're not hearing our music. There we go. That should fix it for you.
I'm hearing the music.
Bless
Thank
you.
Thank you.
We are gonna have very short housekeeping today. I know I haven't set out a stream schedule for this week. I'm so sorry. I keep thinking about it and then just haven't gotten around to it.
Here's your schedule,
I will
folks.
let you
Show
know.
up. She'll stream when she feels like it. Get off her
boom.
back.
Get him! But I will probably not stream tomorrow. We'll look at Friday, maybe something on Saturday. It just depends, because Saturday is actually my dad's birthday, so we'll see what he's wanting to do for his birthday, and pending that, we will see if we get up to anything. Otherwise, I may see you guys on Sunday instead. I'll just keep you posted in the Discord this week, and then next week we'll have a proper schedule, and we'll reset from there. That being said, I can't think of many other housekeeping items that you guys need to be aware of at this time, except for that moving forward, all of our Gentlemen's Club sessions are going to start at 6:30. That's just going to give us a 30-minute buffer now that we're into marching season for those people who are involved in marching bands for like their high schools, things like that. But also just to give us a little bit of wiggle room as everybody has to travel to and from work to make sure we're all good to go. So I will make sure that I update all of the events in the Discord. I will make sure that I keep you guys abreast of that. And otherwise, we will plan to start at 6:30.
Oh, what?
Boys! I'm gonna start.
Rose out
bonking.
here talking about boobies.
You know what, Sam, for not laughing, you get a point of inspiration. You're the most mature. Congratulations.
I wasn't paying attention.
He's the most demure,
Very mindful.
very mindful.
Speaking
like
of
those
things that
other
make
boys.
you demure, mindful, use code ROSE10 at advancedgg.com. There's your ad for today. Vote on that.
He's not been feeling good this week, so we're gonna keep him out of hot
Nihilist ad.
water. Very nihilistic, but we'll take it.
Life sucks. You know what makes it suck less? Caffeine. Drink caffeine.
You know what makes life not as bad? Drugs.
No.
Caffeine
Yeah.
is a drug. You can't tell me I'm wrong because I'm right.
It is.
I mean, you got me there. That being said, we will
drugs,
go
kids.
ahead and send y'all to the intro video, and we will get started right on the other side. See you in a minute.
It's a beautiful land, Kalendrya. For generations, the people of Kalendrya had told ancient stories of legendary heroes. But the age of heroes has long passed, and now villains have risen to reign of the land. Whispers say that we're doomed, that the era of heroes has ended, but I still hold out hope that there are heroes out there, and we need them now more than ever before. Kalendrya.
When last we saw our gentlemen, they had successfully managed to make some amends with Captain Alisard before retreating and retiring back to a rather eventful evening, whether it was filled with shopping and the making of a few new weapons, or with gathering of information from the local fortune teller. They managed a relatively peaceful night's rest. And, gentlemen, this morning, as the sun rises, peeks through your window, how would you like to start your day?
I forget who's in what room.
We're all in the same room, aren't we?
We're all in the same room now. Okay.
You're
I
in
pop
your
out of
bucket.
my barrel, and I grab a towel, and I dry myself off, and I get clothed.
Are you gonna
and I
make the
whistle it.
sound?
I whistle a jaunty tune because it is the start of a bright and beautiful day.
Are you gonna make the sound as
Optimistic.
you walk around the room with wet feet?
Thank God.
That's not my Jameson.
And then I get excited and I run around the room.
It's in ears, man.
I'm going to wake up and gingerly remove the flask of alchemist's fire that has been concocting throughout the night. I'm going to cork it, make sure that everything's solid, and then tuck it away safely in a pack on my bag.
Okay.
Bag on
So
my
you-
pack.
Back on my pack.
As you carefully are kind of corking this bottle, you do see Rowan a few times kind of sitting and looking, hands you like the little cork, kind of watching, reaches up to try to take it from you to put away for you.
Not yet.
As I look and I like how Rowan always looks like he's up to no good. I like that his hands go like this.
Well, that's
Very funny.
That's where they go. They don't go much further than
But
that.
look at him. He looks so mischievous. Like he has a secret. Like he's holding something and he doesn't want to share.
I think he's quite innocent looking. Look at his face.
See him kind
And
of
then-
turn and just look at you in the same wide-eyed stare that he always
But
has,
now,
and do this.
Watch this. And then I walk over and I put my fingers above like I'm giving him evil eyebrows. And I go, look, now he looks really mischievous. Normal, evil. Normal, evil.
I reach into a pocket and pull out like a little piece of charcoal, and I'll draw some eyebrows on him. Nah, and I'll wipe them off.
I don't know. You could have been honest, but he could have been very expressive.
Well, the plates that make up the top of his face don't really move. His eyes can contort in different directions, but it's not as expressive as musculature of one's cheeks or forehead. It's not how metallic things work. Isn't that right, Ozzy? Who is, I'm assuming, just standing in the corner of the room because he doesn't sleep.
I was gonna say I'm probably like sitting back against the door so that nobody can open the door. Just sure, if you say so.
Does his mouth or face move at all while he talks? Got you
No.
there.
Not really. His mouth moves a little bit, but it's not like nearly as much as like a person's mouth would.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Is
just
Max
kind
up
of
yet? Or
glows.
is he still sleeping?
Yeah, normally a morning person, Max, will lazily rise, give a few dad grunts, and eventually get up.
Yeah, Max is up and dressed by 4 a.m. so that he can mow the lawn by 6. He's a good old dad. You gotta do that.
Terrible.
Yeah, as you're goading Ozzy about his anatomy, Max will be up.
Good morning, Starshine. The sun says hello.
Anyway,
Is that a proverb, Jameson?
yes, from one Willard Wonkus.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Anyway, We're off to find the fighting pit at the tavern today, right?
I think that was
believe
the plan.
the plan. Mhm.
Well, best we go about things then, right? I'll finish getting dressed, putting on my armor, throw my pack back over my shoulder, and get ready to leave.
I mean, I personally would like some breakfast, but I will get ready to go.
We all get ready to go, and we'll go downstairs and have some breakfast.
Bradley said it.
All right, so as you all head downstairs, seeing the first of you descent, you already see several of these staff here of the brewery kind of go ahead and start bringing out some plates to set at the table where you all seem to have now become regulars at. Any drinks this morning?
Just water or something of the like.
Some milk would be nice.
Water, some milk?
Espresso martini. Make it a double.
And an espresso martini. Very well. And you see her kind of shuffle off, go behind the bar. You hear one shout to the kitchen with a distorted shout back that you can't quite make out. But a few minutes later, they bring over your drinks to you.
We
Made this
eat
extra
breakfast.
strong for you, Max. The bags under your eyes say that you could use it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And they shuffle back off, back to their work.
I suppose we eat and drink.
Be merry. You know, the usual.
So,
Or you call it Mary.
I
Mac.
That's Ozzy.
the plan is to just go down to where there are the most bars and just, I guess, kind of ask and see if we can find our way. If this place is doing secret fights or whatnot, we probably need to just ask around. I'm envisioning a plan. It's coming to me. I've got it. So we walk around with Ozzy, right? And I'll pretend to be his promoter, and we're trying to get him to earn some money, and we try to subtly ask if there's any fights going on without saying fights. And we try to just patrol around and see if there's any way where we can gain access, because anyone that sees Ozzy will know that he's worth, like, he can get in a fight, right? And then we could just try to use that to get someone's interest into making money off of us winning, because anybody that would look at Ozzy would see that he could probably win a fight, so they probably want to bet on him. Therefore, we could probably gain access that way. But I guess the whole thing is we need to be careful about not actually... We can't be too eager to try to find this place, because then people might assume that we're like cops or something.
Because the one thing I know about fight clubs is that we should always talk about fight clubs.
I mean, we are officials, so we're, in a sense, cops.
I mean...
Authority adjacent.
I like that better.
I don't like that. We're just third-party agents working...
Independent contractors.
Yes, working in correspond. We're not the law. We're just using the law to help us.
Well, since we are speaking of a bit of subterfuge in order to suss out where this fighting pit may be, would it be best to go over code names and pseudonyms to use now, or come up with them on the spot and get confused during the ruse like we did last time? Is Mr. Johnson still going to be Mr. Johnson of the Titanium Persuasion?
Or
It sounds like me to be a good fighter name. Titanium Johnson, you know?
no, I think he is a
And
point.
people-
It's a good name.
But then
Yeah.
people might get confused with the extermination company.
Well, we only did
Also,
one
were there more
job,
people?
and the person we did the job for is in prison.
Well, there was the other person.
Who probably ran back into the hole they came from.
So if we are recognized as being exterminators, then we know we're going in the right direction, because the only people that know that we were pretending to be exterminators is the woman who ran away.
That is very true.
Besides pest exterminators, I mean, that's a very broad thing. You know, taking out a few thugs, I'd consider those pests.
That's the cover story. We're exterminators, but in actuality, we peddle our metal man's vitality in the fighting pits of various cities, testing his metal against other opponents.
That was a good one, Alder.
Thank you.
All right. Guys. I think we have a semblance of a plan.
So am I Max this time, or is he Max this time?
You can be Max this time. You can be. I look at Max and I'm like, today I think you're a Roger. Yes.
Roger.
You're Roger today.
Okay. Roger.
I see what you did
And-
there. I understood that reference.
And today I will be Amphibian Jones.
Like Titanium Jones, but amphibian?
No, he's Titanium Johnson.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it is both J names, but it'll be
J and
if
J
I'm-
Industries.
If I'm like his manager, it makes sense that we would have corresponding names. But I think the key here is evoking interest without being suspicious. So maybe we can go around and ask people if there's ask some random people, like, if we have a guy trying to make a name for himself, do you know any places where someone might make a name for themselves around here?
Hey, I know a guy who likes to punch people. Do you know where he can do that?
That could work.
I feel great about this plan already.
Well, what are we waiting for? I'll stand up from the table and gather my plate and take it over to the bar and turn it in so that, I'll bust my own table and then get ready to leave. Bye.
All right. So Alder, you stand up. Do you grab everyone else's plates, or?
No, like, get their own fucking plates.
Okay. So you get up, you bust specifically your plate and your now empty cup of milk. The waitress kind of stops and looks at you a little odd. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Takes it, puts it away, and starts heading to the table to clear everyone else's plates away. As you all head out, is there anywhere in particular that you are wanting to go, or are you just heading straight there?
I'm good to go straight there.
I'm good to go straight there.
Where is there? Just
To wherever as you guys had said previously, the
Yeah,
biggest
we're
grouping
going to,
of
like-
taverns.
but like, where is that?
It's kind of around and in like the market district.
Okay. We shove off.
All right, about a pretty easy 40-minute walk from where you are at. You kind of make your way through, begin weaving in and out essentially of the individuals kind of across the street. When you arrive at the market district, you know you have arrived. Whereas in the artisan district, where you guys have kind of been, which has all the guilds, some, housing, things of that nature, this is, it is a huge open area with tons of stalls kind of littered about this space. You see tons and tons of restaurants, taverns, a few inns kind of on the outskirts of the circle, as well as a few brick and mortar buildings kind of established already within the area itself. As you kind of begin exploring, looking about, and checking things out. As you kind of begin perusing, for those of you who have not been here, it is a little overwhelming. Just the sheer amount of people and different businesses, different wares being peddled here is astronomical. But for those of you who have been here, Max, potentially Ozzy, there is a little bit of rhyme and reason, but you know that it's quite frequent that a lot of these taverns kind of turn over based on how well they seem to actually be doing. As you begin looking about, everyone roll me a perception check.
16.
16 noted.
10 and 16.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
Can I use my passive perception instead?
I'm gonna say no in this instance, since you are actively kind of looking to try to keep an eye out for this tavern. Unless
It
you're not
seems-
wanting to be of help, but you won't notice the tavern itself then.
I don't think I'm gonna notice if you say no.
Alright. So, for anyone with a 14 or higher,
Really?
you notice the following names that kind of stand out to you for one reason or another. You notice a tavern known as The Last Drop, with a sign that is a man kind of on a gallows, a noose around his neck, holding just a pint of beer, looking a little nervous. You notice another called The Short and Stout, which has a sign that is just a braided dwarven beard. You see one named Seedy and Shoddy, which is just written on a large sign. You noticed one called the Shark Tank, and you notice another called the Sidewinder.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We've been to some of these taverns, haven't we? When we split up to gather gossip.
Which ones do you think you've been to?
I think I've been to the Short and Stout. I think me and Ozzy had to crawl into there and talk to people.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Okay, well,
Did you see any violence in there?
as violent as we tried to get in there and get back out, but I didn't see any fisticuffs ablaze.
What? Oh.
We could split up and go through several of them, or we can brandy our wares and maybe they'll come to us.
I think if we're keeping with the ruse of pawning off Mr. Titanium Johnson, perhaps sticking together would be best. Because otherwise, if we don't have said Johnson, we might not be taken seriously.
Well, Mr. Johnson, where would you like to go?
The previous names had a common bit in it about water. Maybe The Last Drop would be a good start.
So says Mr. Johnson. To the
Hear,
last
hear.
drop.
All right.
Woohoo.
So you all begin kind of making your way through the crowds across this little bit of space between where you have entered in and the Last Drop Tavern. As you arrive, you do see what seems to be your fairly standard tavern, though a bunch of the decor, things of that nature, seem to be a little bit more on the macabre side. Everything seems to kind of lean into the name here a little bit as you're looking about. And you do see, as you kind of enter in, one host kind of come up, look at you all, give a little bit of a bow. Gentlemen, welcome to our lovely tavern, The Last Drop. Is there anything that I can get for you? Are you looking for a seat, or would you just like something from the bar?
something to drink and then maybe just to bend your ear for a moment.
Ah, of course, of course. Please, I'll happily direct you to a few seats that we should have opening up at our bar. And you see this man kind of step aside. At this point, you do see his tail. He's kind of got, for being a tiefling, has kind of hooked over his arm a little bit as he gestures for you to follow him. He easily kind of makes his way through the bits of crowd and leads you to 3 chairs, kind of situated with an individual breaking up what could be the 4th chair. You see him pause momentarily. I'm so sorry, madam. Could I ask you to move down 1 seat for our gentleman? She happily does so, downs the rest of her drink, and slides over a chair to make 4 seats altogether for you lot as you approach the bar. Please, make sure that you get yourselves whatever fine beverage you would like. He kind of flags down the bartender for you. And of course, I'll be back in just a moment to be able to answer any questions you may have about our fine establishment. As he nods and begins to back off, you do have a moment to glance up at the sign. Yes, Alder.
This guy's being really friendly all of a sudden. We just walked into the tavern. He's asked people to move out of the way so we can sit down. Does he recognize us, or does he see potential in Ozzy? Like, is our ruse already working?
Roll an insight check.
There we go.
I have a couple of questions as well. Do I know who runs this bar, and are they part of the guild?
Ooh, okay. Roll me a check of your choosing, but explain why you pick it.
Arcana, because I'm magical.
No.
I
Something
tried.
that makes sense. Yeah.
How about... It's hard. I'm thinking something charisma based. The only thing I have proficiency in is persuasion. I'm thinking, like, as I'm getting to know people, I might be like, hey, who owns the last drop here? Are they like,
Yeah,
are
I'll
they
allow
chill?
it. Go ahead and roll me a
All right.
persuasion check.
Let's go.
I got a 17 on that inside check.
17
I got a-
noted.
15.
15, okay. With a 15, you've heard a lot of different names. None of them in particular for this tavern stand out to you. But you do, as you're kind of sitting here looking about, you do see a sign up on kind of like the backdrop of this bar that does have the insignia of the Brewers Guild. So they are a member, whoever they are. Alder, for you, you're kind of on edge. Like, why is he being so friendly? Like, until you see as he goes back and sees another group of people coming in that he is just as friendly to the next group. It seems this is just how he kind of is.
Okay. I'll still just kind of raise an eyebrow, keep an eye on the guy. But just that behavior seems sus.
Okay. Noted.
We sit down, and this is like morning still, right?
Mm-hmm.
How crowded is this
Day
bar?
drinking.
Yeah.
It's not terribly crowded, but as you see, it's kind of starting to pick up a little bit with the fact that the market itself is kind of picking up. A lot of the people around you don't see necessarily here to drink. They're all here to kind of get breakfast and might have a drink with it.
Looking at the patrons that are coming into the establishment, do we see a particular archetype of people coming in? We see a lot of tall, muscular individuals walking around.
It seems to be kind of a smattering of individuals across the entirety of the tap room.
Okay.
All right. So, this is, I guess, a weird question. Is there any weird architectural choices in this place? Like how there's a random corridor where people keep going to the bathroom and then people aren't coming back. And this will probably take a while just sit and watch. But do we see anything weird, like people going to a place that seems like it would lead nowhere, or going downstairs to a basement and then not coming back up, that kind of thing? Or do we even hear?
Check.
Or like, yeah, do we even hear like rumblings of an arena just slowly, like barely being masked by so yeah, let me. That is a 21.
With a 21, as you're sitting here, you're looking, you spot a few spots that say that they're the bathrooms. You kind of watch, you check back in a minute later, and you do see the individuals coming back out at what seem to be kind of regular intervals. You see the wait staff and other employees kind of disappear through some doors but come back out. Nothing really seems to stand out. And as you're kind of looking about, you do suddenly hear somebody talking about, but we saw one of the four blades this morning. They were here at the market. I saw. Oh, if we're lucky enough, can we stop by, see what kind of wares they were looking at? And you hear them kind of go back to their conversation.
And I will do what I do best, and I kind of will butt into their conversation and go like, "Did you say the four blades?
Oh, yes.
I am a huge fan. I have all their trading cards,
Oh, me
and
too.
I would like to know where you saw them."
Well, I didn't see all of them. You understand? I only saw Kilgrant. Or at least I was pretty sure it was Kilgrant. He was over in the market probably about 15 minutes ago. He was busy shopping. Had a few different individuals he was talking with, but you know, I was hoping maybe in a little bit of if I could maybe bring him some food. Do you happen to know what his favorite food is?
I have no idea, but I have heard that the Four Blades like to frequent one of the bars in this area. Do you know? Have you heard which one? I don't know which one.
Do you think it's this one?
I don't know. I think that whatever bar they go to is very lively. So I'm not sure.
Lively.
Oh, do you think that they are involved in some of the dancing and such?
Oh, dancing! I've not heard of this. What kind of dancing?
Well, apparently there's a group that likes to dance, and they always bring in a large open space in the evenings that everyone can dance about, kind of enjoy themselves.
Have you been to one of these dances?
Oh heavens, no. I mean, I'm.
Is it like an invite only thing? Is it like the Sadie
No,
Hawkins
I-
dance where someone has to ask you to go?
Are you asking me to go?
No, I'm sorry.
Maybe.
Oh well.
I mean, you do seem lovely, but we can talk another time. I'm kind of busy right now.
Oh, I get it. I understand. The thought of being able to see one of the four blades and really just, wow, a real hero. You know, it's a lot to take in.
I know, and sometimes it's easier to take in because you don't even know you're in front of heroes. Maybe several heroes. Maybe heroes that
You
haven't
see
made a
them
name
whip
for
their head
themselves
around. Are they
yet.
here?
Maybe. But what place do they have these dances at?
Oh, well, the one that I'd heard the most about the dances at were the Vulgar Unicorn across the way. But I heard that they're a little bit involved. Some folks say that if you don't know the dance, it's difficult to get into.
Oh, okay. Do people like leave these dances like very bruised up because it's a very involved dance?
No, usually they're quite good about it. They have a group of individuals that will kind of line the dance floor, make sure that those who aren't trying to dance don't get accidentally swept in unaware.
And so like they also block people from watching the dance.
Well, that I don't know. I've only heard stories, you know.
Thank you. You've been very helpful. I hope that you get that autograph you're looking for.
Oh, you two, do you want to talk about their trading cards? Because I've got a couple. Do you have any of the limited editions?
No. And then I walk away.
Quite simply, no.
You see them kind of a bit dejected and kind of like looking at you as you go and just kind of, well.
You have fun with that though. I'm good though.
And they pretty quickly kind of turn and go back to their conversation at hand, and you hear them go back to, oh, well, maybe we'll be able to find him a little easier if there's a crowd. Maybe if we get there early enough, do you think that he'd still sign our card? And just kind of reset back to their conversation.
Okay. Well, that's a lead. Maybe they're not. It's not a dance. Maybe that's actually like I don't know. Maybe it's like the dance like a cover. So that's something to look into. Unless we hear about for sure for fighting somewhere else.
I think it's our best lead by far, considering we had no leads before. Do we wish to
Probably still-
visit this particular unicorn now?
We could probably still ask the person that greeted us coming in.
That's true.
Yes, Mr. Smiles a lot.
As you kind of sit here another moment, you do see this individual kind of pause and direct a few more individuals to tables. And when it seems that the line is kind of cleared out, he takes a little sign from behind this entry, puts a little sign up for a moment, and heads over to a lot of you. Oh, I'm so sorry for the delay in me coming back. You had a few questions, you said.
Yes. So we heard that next door, across the way, there's a really engaging dance circle that happens. Could you tell us anything about that? I know that's technically like a competitor.
The dance, it's not really a competition, so to speak. The Vulgar Unicorn is really for those who want to be a little bit more lively, partake in primarily drinks and company, but they do have dances every evening. Usually they've got a little bit of a theme to them on special occasions, but from time to time, I know I myself have been known to frequent them. Perhaps I might
What
answer
can you
any
tell us?
questions.
What can you tell us about them?
Oh, well, they're really for anybody who enjoys dancing. They've got a different rotating group of bards who will come through with their companies, and it's always a different assortment of music, but all of it is very upbeat, very danceable music.
Do the Four Blades ever partake in these dance circles?
Oh, well, I've heard personally talk that Hathis has gone from time to time, and on rare occasions, some folks have said that they've seen Quail kind of come to escort him out when he gets a little too inebriated.
Can you just show up to these dances? Do you need like an
Oh,
invite?
yes, it's just a tavern. Now, I will say there's no, cover charge or anything, but they do recommend that you buy at least one drink to help the business stay afloat.
I see. So on a maybe related or unrelated note, my friend here is really trying to make a name for himself in this town. He is fighting fit, has maimed several people, not like people that didn't deserve it. Like it was fair
You
fight.
see him kind of like tense and like leaning a little bit back. The friendly kind of customer service face a little less pronounced.
It was bandits in self-defense. It wasn't just like he went up to a guy and like broke his leg.
Of course.
But he wanted to know, and I'm asking for him. He's very shy, and I like pretend like I'm pinching Ozzy's cheek, like, oh, yeah. He's very shy, and he just was wanting to know if there's a way for someone who is tough like him to make money in a place like this.
Really just laying it all out there.
I mean, have you checked the job boards? Any listings for mercenaries?
Sadly, neither he or I can read. So I was kind of asking for word of mouth.
Well, I'm
He
sure...
only can read vowels, and I can only read everything else. So it takes us both to learn to read full things. So
Well, then
I
you
just
seem like
figured I'd ask.
a group to work together.
I'm gonna lean to Alder. This is going well.
I know how to read. Why is he saying we don't know how to read?
No, Ozzy and I don't know. You're not part of this. You're literate.
You literate people over there with your books.
Pardon me a moment, but the
Favorite
four of you
words.
came in
Here's your thoughts.
together. Would it not be easiest for you to just ask your companions then to read for you?
You know, the thought never occurred to me, but also I don't like to bother them. Alder, you see, he's very busy.
If he's a
I
friend of
only-
yours, I'm sure it would not be such a bother for you for a friend.
Haven't
Thought he
you
was
ever not
Max.
wanted to burden your friends? He's done so much for me already, and he's working to support his family back home. He's too busy to read to a little frog like me. And that guy over there at Point Max, he hates me. He just hangs around here. I don't know why he's here.
You kind of see this individual kind of turn and look at the bar, and just kind of hold one finger up for a moment. A moment later, a drink is kind of pushed in front of you, and the bartender leans over. No charge, honey. Before going back to what she's been doing. Now, you seem
Are you going to
be-
answer my question, though?
Well, you seem to be having quite a hard time. Is something the matter? Is there something you'd like to speak about?
Yes. My friend needs a job.
Well, I'm sure there are job listings all throughout town, and it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, your two
He
friends would be
craves
happy
violence.
to-
Jameson,
only-
Jameson, maybe we will inquire at a different place. Thank you, good sir, for your drinks and your merriment. Goodbye now.
I thought he
Ow.
was Jones.
Come now.
Be
We'll
quiet,
come back.
not Max. What's your name?
I thought you were
Roger.
Max.
I know, that's why I said not Max. I don't remember your name.
It was Reggie?
Come now, Titanium.
Reginald,
We'll
this
find
way.
The violence.
Let's go.
We'll find the violence you crave elsewhere.
We are very normal, adjusted people.
Don't say that out loud.
Goodbye.
At this point, you do see
best
several other
part.
onlookers looking at you, and Jameson, as you make eye contact with the individual you spoke with before, they look at you, hold up their card, and go,
The best part is that Jameson is not technically incorrect. He
Okay.
craves violence.
Perhaps we handle this with a bit more tact, I think.
That guy didn't matter. He didn't know anything.
Correct, which means we probably could have ended the conversation sooner without possibly incriminating ourselves.
We didn't incriminate ourselves in anything. Ozzy hasn't maimed anyone. Yeah.
No, but you told everyone in that room that he thirsts for violence.
He does. Look at him.
They don't need to know that.
Look at his eyes.
I mean, they do glow like a dark red.
Those eyes have seen and done things. We understand that. There is no need to address the Oliphant in the room. Those are
Well,
canon.
if we
now,
dressed
though.
up an Oliphant, that would be very funny. I think that's a great idea. We can
What's
put on
next?
a little hat.
Are we going to the perverted unicorn or somewhere else?
I mean, it is the one major lead we have so far.
Might as well.
We can ask someone else questions there if it does not seem like it's the right place. Maybe a little
Well-
differently this time.
Well, the important thing is, it's not happening yet, but we have to prepare ourselves for dance night, which means you have to put on your best dancing clothes. We all have to be prepared to boogie.
We're not actually looking to go dancing, though. We're looking to fight.
Yes, but what if it's been a whole miscommunication, and the whole thing is people don't understand that there's a difference between dancing and fighting? I bet.
I don't
that
know
we
if
go-
you know the difference between dancing and fighting.
It's like art. There is no difference. It's all the same.
So, are you suggesting some type of montage where we bandy about the marketplace looking for fancy clothes to potentially go dancing in?
I'm not paying for
Absolutely.
clothes. I don't dance. Let's just The dance is a possibility.
Max, what if we go there and then there's a dance off and we have no choice and you look foolish because you did not wear your bell bottoms and lifted platform shoes?
I think I will live.
Not.
Is that what Max dressed up like in his Strixhaven yearbook photos?
Make a note about it. Make a note.
Well, all I'm saying is if
mention
there's,
that
In the
dance,
1470s, disco was off the chain.
if there's a dance off later, you're going to look very foolish.
Correct. What skills
hope you guys know.
with dancing?
Performance. Busting it
fair.
down.
I only got a +1 to that. You can do it.
I got a minus. Y'all have fun.
Got a
Shit.
0 to that fat performance, baby.
All right, Jameson, it's all you.
Are we going to the pervy unicorn?
Is that what it was called?
I don't remember.
No, it's not.
It sounds
Vulgar
close enough.
unicorn, I believe.
It's called the unemphatic unicorn.
To the unicorn plus adjective.
The adjective unicorn.
Good enough.
All right, as you
The
all
bodacious unicorn.
wander for a moment and finally make your way to the front of it, you do see at the moment it is closed. It says that it opens midday through late into the evening.
Is it the door is closed? Is it one of those swingy saloon doors, or is it like a door?
It's like a set of double doors that are
Okay.
doors.
And they are
closed.
Closed. They're not slightly open,
No.
like perhaps ajar.
No, a jar would be also closed unless you're eating something out of it right now.
No, sometimes you leave them open and drink drinks out of them or things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's got
Yeah.
You started us down this rabbit hole. I'm finish it.
Thought it was a
Right.
jar.
Well, the jar has a hole in it.
Rabbit jar.
Are there front windows?
There
Rabbit
are.
jar.
I'm gonna peek in through the window.
As you peek in, you
Are y'all
do
open?
see what looks to be like the interior of a closed tap room. You do see a large space that is kind of raised up a little bit. That does seem to almost be a dancing floor of some sort. You do also see at the head of that area is what seems to be a small stage for probably the bards when they play.
May I pose a query on this subject as we look now at this large dance hall of a tavern? Isn't this supposed to be like secret and kind of illegal?
Mm-hmm.
In some places, dance is legal.
Okay, well, we're not.
I
in
read
the-
that opera.
We're not in the tiny town from the Mama show. When if it's illegal, wouldn't they not want to put a big stage in the middle of the tavern where it happens?
Could
Well,
also be.
what if it's a
cover.
front? The dancing is a front for the fighting. What if it's in the same place?
But it's
Everyone's-
on full display. People would be able to walk in and
Yes.
see the fighting,
It's-
and then they'd go
No,
tattle.
What I'm saying is the dancing is here in front of everyone, shiny, flashy, and then the fighting is like in the basement or like somewhere else in the city because everyone's so distracted with the dancing that they're not paying attention to the violence.
I
The music and the
understand
sound of
now.
footsteps would cover up any.
Is
stray
there a
sounds from
basement?
fighting.
Maybe there's exterior access, like a cellar door. Is this building like attached to other buildings in like a strip, or is it on its own building?
It is kind of set up as though it's like a mall strip, but there's just enough room for you to kind of go between the buildings if you almost kind of like sidle in some spots for those of you that are larger.
I'm going poof gun.
Yeah, I'll go too.
All right. As you make your way through this very tight alley and around to the back, you do see there is a back door, and you do see that there are a set of cellar doors on this little bit of road that is kind of like a one-lane road that travels between several buildings.
Anybody around?
Looking around, there's one like unconscious individual off to the side, but otherwise no.
Why are they unconscious? Are they drunk? Or are they?
You
beat
hear
up
them
like they were
loudly
just in a fight club?
snoring, and they do have quite the smell of booze about them.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna.
They test the cellar door.
It is locked.
Lockpicks.
All right.
These tools. Bam! Yo, we know what, Rowan? Help me with that. Thanks, Rowan. That is a 21.
With the 21, easily enough, you're able to, and click, you hear the large padlock kind of open up, and you're able to take it off, and the doors are able to be opened.
Oh, creep.
I put my ear up next to it, and I try to listen, or my ear hole next to it, and see if I hear anything in the basement, anything in the cellar.
As Alder opens one door, you hear a loud "eek" in your ear of the creaky hinges,
I
but
keep
you hear
listening.
no other sounds.
Is it dark?
It is quite dark.
All right.
Rowan has dark
Are we
vision.
doing this?
I
Are we
will.
breaking and entering?
We've
didn't
already
break.
broken. Let's
I didn't-
enter.
I did not break it. It is in perfectly working condition.
You know, you're right.
You could just send Rowan in to look. Maybe.
But what if he falls down?
And he'll get up again.
Just does anyone have just like
Like a small
just-
fey-like creature attached to them that they summon at will, that can apparate and disapparate at the conjurer's will.
Not
no?
with
I
me
was
right
gonna
now.
say, does anyone have a light?
Yeah. I cast light.
Uh,
I'll give him an airplane bottle and be like, here.
So if I drink this, will my pee light up?
Oh no,
Yes.
sorry. I'll crack the top on it and it will light up.
Yes,
Thank
it will
you.
now.
And since I didn't hear anything, I'll hop in.
All right, as you hop in, it's got a fairly low ceiling, probably about 5 feet tall, 6 feet at most in some areas. But you do see floor to ceiling shelves and a series of boxes kind of stacked up in the center of the room. As you look about, it does seem that all of this is either food items, drink items, some, general stores of plates, cups, mugs, tankards, things of that nature.
Does it look like this stuff is like moved aside, like easily? Like, does it look like it's been disturbed recently, like in a
perception
like a
check
major
or
way?
investigation, perception or investigation, whichever you prefer.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a 22.
Okay. With the 22, as you're kind of looking about, it is pretty dust-free across this entire space. You do see spots where it seems like different boxes have kind of been pulled off of shelves and reinserted, things of that nature, but nothing stands out to you as, oh, like this whole like section of shelving has like moved recently or anything of that nature.
And I'll just look for like any evidence of like a large amount of people being in here, or like I'll specifically look for like blood or like viscera or something.
As
Like
you
where
look,
people have been
there is
beaten and shit.
no blood, no nothing. It is very clean for the most part of a cellar.
Okay.
That's very clean cellar. I don't think so.
Does it like how many is like in is this like a cellar that's like you can only get in from the outside?
No, you do see that there is an entrance that leads upwards as well.
Okay. Unless I see anything else that like kind of really sticks out, I'm gonna head back.
All right, and you head back.
Well, I didn't see anything. Let's flip this lock back first.
Okay. Shut
Uh,
the door. Lock it back.
so I didn't see anything in there. It was very clean, so they do a good job cleaning down there. But I think we might have to come back at night during the dancing to see if there's anything going on, because it definitely looked like things had been moved around, but they might just really clean up after themselves after after they do fights down there, or they might fight somewhere else. I don't know.
Well,
But I think it'd be
this is a
worth-
red herring.
It could be.
didn't seem to be a very tall space. Wouldn't you think if they're going to host a ring of champions and people and fighters, it'd be a need to be a taller space?
Oh, let's go
Maybe
look
if
around.
like,
We
for sure.
we heard one of the four blades was at the market. Why don't we go to the market and see if we hear any rumblings, or just we'll see if we find any shady individuals looking around that we can maybe get scoped out by to like gain access to this.
Which
Or
should-
worst comes
I
to
think it's a
worst,
fight club for ants.
worst comes to worst, we look around and we see if a crime happens, and then we could like beat the shit out of somebody, and then gain entrance that way.
could we pretend to beat the shit out of someone to like
Oh, you're
show
saying,
off
like-
Ozzy's prowess in battle?
Yes, that could work.
Who is he going to fight?
I think that if
Max.
I was about to say,
It's immediately like, nope.
Mm,
if he tried to beat me up, they might not think that was very convincing because I'm small. That would be like, I don't think that they would be like, wow, that's such a cool guy. They'd be like, wow, that guy beats up small things. That's more of like, oh, he's a serial killer and he kills
Or-
animals, not like, oh, he's a badass.
Are you an animal?
only on the
What I
dance
wanna
floor.
be.
Hey,
Terrible.
or hear me
Quote,
out.
to quote Puss in Boots from Shrek 2, for you, baby, I could.
I
be."
could be.
Or hear me out. We could exhaust our other options before resorting to trying to fake violence in the streets and possibly getting arrested. Or they could try to arrest us, I suppose. But
I suppose. I think the market square seemed to be a good lead.
Yeah, let's just go see, look around, and see what there is to see.
All right.
To the market!
As you head back to the market, about this time, it's probably 10, 11 in the morning. As you make your way back, you do see it is crowded. And it is difficult to ascertain one individual or anything over the large amount of people. You hear shouting, different vendors kind of shouting at individuals, trying to catch their attention. Different individuals kind of chatting loudly amidst the crowd. But you do see one area that has a series of high-pitched like screams coming from one
thank
direction.
Thank you, Discord Noisegate. I'm assuming you screamed.
Yes. Like your typical high-pitched fangirly screams in one direction.
Hell yeah.
Ah, One Direction.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
I get it.
Oh.
I don't get it.
if the four blades are as popular as they're supposed to be,
We go that way.
we go that way.
All right. As you begin making your way, you do see two individuals who stand much taller than the rest of the crowd around them, that you're able to see in spite of the absolute swarm of people that have kind of gathered around them. You do see them kind of smiling, nodding, leaning down on occasion to, it looks like, sign things, greet individuals. A large minotaur woman and a large lizard folk male.
That's them.
It's them.
I just want to watch for a minute and just see how they're like interacting with the people.
As you see, they're kind of turning, looking, and eventually you see the one minotaur woman kind of raise her hand, and you see her kind of speaking to them, though not terribly loud, before turning and making their way, continuing throughout the market.
Okay. Do we just hail them, or do we? I think we just hail them. I don't think we introduce ourselves or anything.
Oh yes, let's do that. From a respectful distance, and then if we get too close, it'll trigger a small cutscene that will reset the mission.
Game over.
Alright, so you are trying to covertly tail these individuals?
Smoky alert. Freak out.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us what to roll.
All right. I need
Tell me
you
what
to
I'm
roll
gonna
me
fail at.
a stealth check, and somebody else will need to roll me a survival check.
Oh, shit.
I have a
I'll
plus
take
3
your-
survival.
I do as well. So, actually, I have a plus 4 survival.
I got a
Do
0.
you have proficiency?
Yes.
Can I help, Jameson?
Sure.
Well, actually, it
Survival?
depends. I might need
Whoever
to do.
is
I
not
might.
rolling survival will have to roll stealth.
I might need to roll stealth for us.
I got a plus
I
2.
have disadvantage on stealth checks.
I have a plus
So
2.
how about
stealth.
I'll do stealth.
All right, I'll take survival.
Rowan will help.
That is for stealth for me. That is a oh, that's way better than I thought. A 23.
Okay. Max, what is that survival?
For a schnat 20, that's a 23.
Nice. Okay. Ozzy and Alder, what are your survival or not survival? Sorry, your stealths.
Rowan is going to help Ozzy not be so stompy loud. Help.
So
Okay,
it'll
that's
be a
much
straight
better.
roll instead. for
Thank
Ozzy.
God. Thank God.
I got a 13.
Okay, so a 13 for Alder.
Because I got to roll a straight roll, it's a 16 for stealth.
Nice. Okay.
It could have been a 7.
Could have been worse. Could have been a 1.
Could have been way worse.
All right. So, Max, you managed to kind of deftly keep your party on track as you navigate through. There's a few moments where Alder kind of starts to fall behind. It makes a little bit of noise, kind of, and catches back up to you. But you're able to kind of keep an eye on these individuals. You see them stop at a few different vendors, especially those that seem to have different weapons, and some who seem to be like small farmers, things of that nature. And you do see that they will actively kind of buy a few things here and there. You see them stop and speak with a merchant who seems to be selling potions and other magical wares. They, again, buy a few things, sit and chat for a moment. As they kind of have another group follow them, they stop, sign some more of these little cards, things of that nature, before finally kind of dismissing themselves. And you see as they head off to a tavern, and as you note the name of it, it is named the Shark Tank.
Damn it. That was my second
Like
guess.
that television show.
What's a television?
It's
Right,
this
let's-
little box that I've invented.
Oh shit!
That's right, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. It's canon.
Alder Van Horn invented TV.
hmm
Let's
Even before the radio.
What's
Who
a
needs
radio?
radios? We have a television.
shall we follow them in?
Discreetly.
All right. As you step into the tavern,
Wait, are we using our code names?
Sure.
Max.
Probably should.
Reginald.
Roger.
Rod?
It was
Roger.
Roger.
Roger Reginald.
The,
Reginald Roger.
the
Reginald
8th.
Roger.
And
Esquire.
Titanium Johnson. And Amphibian
Amphibious
Jones.
Amphibian Jones. Like osmosis.
as
Jones.
you enter in, you do see that it is much deeper, darker kind of in here than some of the other taverns. Not quite as macabre as you saw at the last drop. But you do see a few different, seemingly more rough and tumble individuals kind of spread out throughout the interior. And you see a much larger group of individuals here who are seeming to be day drinking. Discussing, you hear a loud round of cheers and shouts go up as you see these two individuals you've been tailing kind of enter into the space. But otherwise, everybody seems to kind of settle in and go about their day, their business. No one seems to be doing anything entirely out of sorts.
Right.
The
I guess we'll
place
just
we're-
find some place to sit.
The place we're looking for is supposed to have sort of a reputation as a hangout for mercs.
Are there mercenaries? A bunch of mercenaries here?
Is there anybody in here that kind of gives off that, or like looks
There are
armed like a mercenary?
several individuals that are, kind of scarred, look to be carrying weapons, look like they're probably the mercenary, like, fighting types. To the point that as you're kind of looking around, you do see one kind of small family start to enter, and then you see the father immediately kind of grab shoulders and turn them around and leave the room.
Why are you taking your kids to a bar during the day anyway? Should they be at school?
Taverns are where they get lunch.
That's a restaurant that also serves alcohol.
It's like a Chili's.
It's like the
We are about to get in some sanctioned fist fights in the Applebee's parking lot. Let's go.
Let me get some dollaritas in this bitch.
Let's go to Denny's and beat up a patron.
That's kind of what we're doing right now, but yeah.
We're going to the Denny's. There's a metal show. There's also a fist fight.
What the fuck is up, Denny's?
So yeah.
So we find a seat,
Find a spot.
a table. There is not a overly enthusiastic gentleman welcoming us in, kicking people out of their seats.
Correct. There's no host or hostess to come greet you as you enter in. Different individuals kind of turn at you, and a few of them you see kind of size up Ozzy a little bit. But none of them seem to pay you much mind, if any at all.
It's just like one of those stories they tell when you get into the room full of a bunch of other big, intimidating people. You're supposed to get into a fight with the biggest one to show the rest of them that you're tough.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
That's
Oh my
exactly what
God.
we shouldn't do.
This is a lemonade bar.
Fuck up.
Well, I'm sad that it wasn't at the other place. I really wanted to have a dance off. That would have been very funny.
It's not too late.
Hey, you can
Still
always
dancing.
go back.
So I'll do the same thing. Does it seem like there's a place that here where people would be able to go for extended periods of time? Like is there a basement or anything like that? Or does it look like this place is worn out enough where they could just do it up here and lock the door?
Roll me a perception check.
Aaron, I would like to ask the same question I'd asked before. Do I know the owner? Are they part of the guild?
Looking around, just immediately, you do not know the owner. You do not think that whoever this is a part of the guild. They don't even seem to have any of the, typically what you would see is anyone who's a part of the guild, they're going to have at least some of the drinks of different individuals who are guild members, things of that nature. You see on the bar list what seemed to be a series of knockoff names for several of the guild brews, including a Cold Bolt and things of that nature.
Cold
Okay.
Bolt.
I feel like I should be flattered. I'm not sure.
They have Mr. Pepper.
They have Mr. Pepper and Miss Salt, and every.
I got Mountain Lightning.
They got KBR, Kalendrya, Blue Ribbon.
They've got Might instead of Sprite. It's fine.
Don't you mean Starry?
What?
Ew.
Ooh.
Ew.
Yeah, I like how we all said ew, even though Starry is literally just rebranded Sierra Mist.
Yeah, Sierra Mist sucked.
Yeah.
Sierra Mist was fine.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's the same as Sprite.
It's the fucking same.
It's just not.
Okay. I will concede Sierra Mist hits nothing like a McDonald's Sprite, but a Sprite you get anywhere else tastes
McDonald's
exactly the
Sprite
same.
Crispy.
Yeah, that's the joke.
It's
That's what someone commented on our wedding photos.
They did.
Yeah.
What?
Somebody
Crispy
commented
like McDonald's Sprite.
on one of our wedding photos.
That's pretty good.
Take that, atheists. We win.
Who said that?
I don't even
Some
know.
people we
Some
don't know.
random I'm just commenting on it.
I bet it was
That's
Carla.
worse.
It's got to
Carl,
be
you in
somebody
chat right
who
now?
knows. It's got to be somebody who knows our photographer.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Oh. But
Anyway.
Either way.
I want to
Wow.
take a moment and like walk across the from where we're seated, walk around some tables and get to the bar to order a drink. But while I'm doing that, I want to like step a little harder or purposefully around. I want to see if there's any extra creaks or gaps in the floor that would lead to there being a level below this one if there is a basement.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me investigation, we'll say. Jameson, what was that perception check?
A 10.
With the 10, as you're kind of looking around, you're catching a lot of eyes, and a lot of them are kind of looking at you, not in a necessarily welcoming way. As you kind of look about the space, a little uncomfortable with some of the different individuals and how intently they're staring at your group. You're not really making out a whole lot. You do see, however, in the back of the room, a set of doors that say VIP on them.
VIP.
Alder, what is that investigation?
It was a 20.
All right, with a 20, and roll me, I want to say a performance check to see how naturally you're able to pull off making these checks as you go about the room. But if you would like to make a different check, you may argue for it.
Dells?
Sure.
+2 instead of a -1. That's a 17.
Okay, pretty well you're able to play this off. A few people kind of look at you weird as you meander a kind of roundabout way to get to the bar through the tap room. And you do feel several different areas where there's a lot more give under the floorboards than you typically would expect if there were not something beneath it.
Cool. I'll get to the bar and order a cold bolt.
All right, they bring it over, one cold bolt for you, and slam it down, and you see a few little pieces of something kind of floating at the top of your drink.
I'm gonna pick it up and hope to the gods that it's ice and bring it back to the table.
All right.
Given my profession,
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody in here that is familiar?
You
Anybody
do
that I may have
see
seen or worked with
two
before?
sets of eyes that are locked on you, and as you
boy.
turn and you look at them, you recognize these individuals from your line of work.
Oh boy. Oh boy. How a whole group? How many?
They are in a group of 4. You notice
Okay.
that 2 of them in particular stand out.
Okay. I recognize them. Do I recognize them in a positive way or a negative way?
You recognize them, though you're not necessarily sure that you are wanting to, if that makes sense in any way.
Oh, good. Okay. Yep. No, we're just gonna keep to ourselves now. We're gonna throw that plan out the door for a second and rewrite it.
What are you all doing?
I think we've narrowed it to the point that this is where we need to be. Also, Max, here, I got you this.
You shouldn't have.
I know. I think now we need to find a way to gain access to that area. I pointed the VIP door.
I might be able to do that.
Are you going to hit someone?
No.
Well, you will, but
Well,
There's
at
no-
some point, yes. I'm going to... I'm just going to talk around. And Ozzy's gonna stand up. And avoiding the group that he doesn't necessarily thinks that he wants to recognize, he's going to look at a different group of mercenary individuals and is going to go over and is going to lean into that mercenary background to try to, get the information that he needs and possibly the inn that he will need. So,
is there anybody here that looks like they would have spent any time on the ocean? Like some former sea criminals?
You just see a few different individuals that dress in that style.
Okay, while he talks to some mercenaries, I want to talk to try to make some conversation with that brand of criminal and see if I can strike up some friendly conversation.
Okay, so you head off in that direction. Ozzy,
mm-hmm.
as you approach this first table, you see one of them kind of finish chugging his ale and slam the tankard down on the table with a resounding kind of crack of wood against wood. As he kind of turns, bringing his arm up, wiping across his whole mouth, he turns and looks at you. What do you want?
I hear that there's a place for a little entertainment and some cracks, knuckle, exercise around here that you can't quite get on a normal basis.
Think you can keep up with the rest of us?
I can certainly try.
He said the thing.
Who would you pick to fight around here?
I'm gonna look around the room.
Please don't point at me.
Please don't point at me.
I want to try to... I've been around a wide collection of hardened fighters before. I want to pick somebody that I don't think is going to be out of my league, but I don't want to pick somebody who's going to be a wimp. Like, I want it to be a good fight.
Alright.
So I'm looking for somebody that, like, trying to size up the group to see somebody who might be on my level a bit.
As you look around, there are several different individuals that you're able to distinguish. I could definitely take this person, but it's gonna make me look pretty good, if I pick them, and are easily able to ascertain one of several different individuals. One of whom is at the table with you, and several of whom are scattered about. There's also another one seated with the individuals you recognize.
I'm going to point at the one at the seat with the individuals that I recognize and say, I think he would be good. I think it would be a good fight.
We've been itching to get him into the ring for a while now. It's been a while since he kicked some ass for somebody. Could be interesting.
Joke's on you. Ozzy doesn't have an ass.
I mean, I technically have an ass, just not the whole. I mean, Anyway, fists only.
Yeah, fist, and you're supposed to stop when somebody goes down, but, up to your discretion.
I'm only cold to my enemies. We'll see how that goes.
Well, we'll see how that works for you. Buy-in is usually 2 or 3 gold.
2 or 3 gold it is.
Alright.
Is there a time frame? Time of day? Or
typically in the
we do
evening,
this now?
market's a little bit quieter. Keeps it under wraps. After the last place, you kind of see him turn and spit on the floor a little bit.
Alright.
You're not one of them narc types, are ya?
No.
You got anybody to vouch for you?
Point back at the table behind me. I work for one of the gentlemen who sits there. I've helped him keep his bar in order for a while. He can vouch that I can keep my weight.
Oh. Can you vouch that a lot of them won't rat us out?
Yes.
Roll me a persuasion check at advantage, if you truly believe it, at, just deception check if you do not. And then tell me the result.
We're not necessarily here to rat out the bar. We're here to get information about the Four Blades. I don't think we're here
We're
to
not
rat out the bar.
narcs.
Yeah, we're not here. I'm not here to rat out the bar. I'm here to get more about the Four Blades and integrate myself into the group, so... I mean, it's not like it really made a difference. They're both +0, so...
Well, one's an advantage, the other one isn't.
$11.
Better than a
Against
10.
his DC 10.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Very well. I'll vouch for you to show up tonight. But if you fuck me over, me and my men will take out your boss and your other friends.
They
Clear
can
enough?
certainly try.
I
It's
don't
the
want them to try.
Hazard of the job. Understood.
He chuckles, stands up, and goes to, like, give you a firm handshake with, like, his whole forearm.
Oh, good.
And you feel that this guy is about as strong as you are. Like, these guys aren't fucking around.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright.
He turns, stretches a bit, snaps and cracks his neck loudly in both directions before starting to sit back down in his chair, waving down for another drink. Fighting pits usually open up around 6 in the evening now. If you want to be there and get in early, I recommend it. Stick
6 it
around
is.
if you can for the show in the evening.
I might do just that. And then I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna walk back over to the table, sit back down, and I know
You're talking
Jameson's
about us.
already. I know Jameson's already walked to go talk to the other sailor types. I'm gonna look at Max and Ozzy and say,
You're
"I'm in
Ozzy.
at 6.
All right.
6 of what? We
6
need to
this
go find-
evening."
6
Here.
of the clock? Oh. Fantastic. That means we can leave this place.
Probably.
I
Jameson.
think we lost Jameson.
Jameson, as you approach the table, you see several of them kind of pause momentarily, look at you, and just kind of cheers a little confused in your direction as you approach.
Gentlemen, you strike me as a sailing type. How long have you been in port, so to speak?
Ship needed a bit of overhaul, a bit of damage taken after coming over from Jinsokyo to the east, and it's about time that we had a little bit of a break. But what can I say? It's been, what is it now? 10 day? 10 day. And we should be heading out before the next 10-day wraps.
Any news from across the ocean? Any interesting seaworthy news?
Well, there's a few different areas. Apparently there's a large sea beast, which is one of a few that we seem to have run ourselves into. Did quite a bit of damage to our ship on our way across, but nothing we couldn't handle. Few different discussions about pirate kings and things of the sort potentially being established in the future, but we're still waiting to hear anything firm on that.
Tell any rumblings of piracy sounds interesting to me.
Oh. There's been some contention over it, but one says that good old Devil Song might be putting his hat in the running. It's been the most I've heard about it.
How have you heard how is old Devil Song doing?
Well, they say he's been doing quite well. It's been rough to try to keep up with him and his men lately. We've got quite a bit of coin coming in, and none of us can quite seem how to match the trade that they're making happen.
Well, good for him.
You come from his ship.
I can't. Who's to say where we've been and what we're doing, you know. Different lifetimes, different experiences.
Do you have any trade secrets for us? We'll buy you an ale.
My only secret when dealing with Devil Song is don't.
Spoken
Because
like everyone
anyone-
else.
Anyone that crosses him doesn't live much longer after that. Which is why I respect. There's no one else that I would rather follow into battle. But that was a different time. But I appreciate you sharing this news with me. And I'll put down a gold piece on the table and I'll go, thank you for your time. Get yourself a round of drinks on me. And if you ever see Old Devil Song, tell him that Mr. Cray is thinking of him fondly.
They give you a good nod, raise a toast to you, and drink heartily as one of them swipes the gold piece off the table and holds it up to wave for some more drinks. As you turn to leave, you do see Ozzy is, at this point, sitting back down at the table with your companions.
And I'll walk up. So, anything? Did we figure anything out?
Got a fight at 6 tonight.
There we go.
So now we can leave this place.
Yes. Also, if we rat this place out, we're fucked. Keep
We
that in
weren't
mind.
going to do that anyway.
Just making sure I say it.
Cool. What do we want to do for like 8 hours?
Training montage. I'm just kidding.
Ozzy training montage where he dusts off his boxing skills that he doesn't probably have.
Who needs boxing skills when you are made of steel?
Who needs boxing skills when you're a quarter of a ton and you just hit things?
Ozzy's going to become the real Rock'em Sock'em robot.
Oh
Jesus
no!
Seems a little insensitive.
I don't know if anybody else got any specific things to do. I think we just kind of mill about the market, maybe visit the other taverns, but nothing really of note.
Press the select button.
It's-
Wait 4 hours.
Yeah,
It's a big market, right?
I ain't got no money.
quite a
You got
large
money?
I've got money.
How much money? I actually
I ain't
do.
telling you.
Dang, wait, hang on. I actually do have a little bit of money. Hang on. Maybe we should go shopping. Let's go shopping.
I just, you know, the quest,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
the eternal quest for a magic item continues.
A crumb of magic item, please.
All right, so you're venturing around. You're looking for a magic item, I take it then?
I will investigate about with Ozzy for magic items
I will go too.
or such
I think that'd be
purveyors of
fun.
things.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
I'm
a good
going.
time. Oh wait, I have money too.
We got
Alright.
paid.
I just don't think I've spent a lot of money. You know?
Let's see.
Pulling out my inner Kairos, hoarding money and never touching it.
That's how they
Because
get
in
you.
that campaign, we got so much loot
much
without
money.
spending any of it. And if
Okay,
there
we
was
never-
something they had that we wanted, I stole it.
Or we killed them for it.
We were not good people.
I mean, we were decently
No.
okay people.
No.
Well,
You were
most of the places we went were under the thumb and controlled by the bad guys. So
All right. You are able to find someone who is selling, that you had seen previously was selling numerous kind of potions, weaponry, some scrolls, things of that nature. You do find that they have on them a few different +1 magic weapons.
How much?
They are listing them at 200 gold pieces each.
Hot dog.
Hot damn.
Hell, I don't need a hot dog. I need a magic weapon.
Magic hot dog weapon.
Ooh.
I would gladly like to buy a +1 rapier, please.
Easily done. Go ahead and cross off 200 gold pieces, and you have a +1 rapier.
I'm intrigued, but I'm not done yet. What else you got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
I'll
have
hold
a-
on a second. I want to think about this. You're bringing up.
Alder's got a good point.
I see your initial bet, and I raise you a.
Okay,
I
let's
don't
see.
know about that.
I will be on the lookout for any spell scrolls.
Wizard gotta buy more spell scrolls.
There are
Ooh.
Pass
an
up.
assortment of first
Go to the
through
junkyard.
third level spell scrolls.
There's a junkyard?
Probably. I'm
Where?
sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
if there's a junkyard.
There are an assortment of spell scrolls, levels 1 through 3 at this vendor.
Will you tell me which ones, or send me your list, or
Pick your third favorite.
I
third
will-
favorite?
Fireball.
I was about to say, you can
Not
get
third
anything
level.
1 through 3 pretty much at this market. If not from this vendor, then from another market vendor.
Anything 1 through 3.
Yes, but they are
Can I
not going to
take-
be cheap.
I'm gonna take Snowball Storm again.
Snowlock, Snowboard, and Storm. 2.
Electric,
Electric
Boogaloo.
Boogaloo.
Remind me,
The
that's a level
re-snowing.
3 or is that a level 2?
That's
Two.
he.
2. Okay.
I already have
you
it, but
could buy a third level spell scroll
Yeah,
and just
for
wait until you reach
a level
fifth
2 spell scroll, it's going to cost you 120 gold.
what if it didn't?
Well,
What if it was
it
like
does.
1
So,
gold?
that's crazy. It sure doesn't.
Yes, can buy this spell scroll for 1 gold. We'll see if it works.
It reminds me of that one shop in the Imperial City in Oblivion, the discount spells shop.
God, what a place.
I mean, all the
First
spells
thing
are
you'd say
normal,
is
but it's just
no.
funny to think
I'm thinking
about.
of the genie in Baldur's Gate that will give you shitty magic items.
Oh yeah.
Oh. All right, you do also see this individual has one let's see, here it is. Where is it? There you go. One warhammer that is a vicious warhammer.
What's a
Ozzy?
viscous warhammer?
Temptation, temptation, temptation. But is there a +1 maul?
Let's see.
Or perhaps
Does not have a +1 maul.
God damn it. Okay.
What else were you hoping he might have?
I don't know. Some fun, goofy magic items. What do you mean?
Well, Ozzy in particular has a look on his face. That's why I'm asking.
He is debating whether
I'm
or not he
debating.
wants to spend
But
the money
also,
on
but
that.
on
also, I
screen-
am always and forever on the lookout for a weapon of warning. Weapon of warning is
LOL at the whip of warning we found in the OG campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll warn, all right.
Whew. He does have one, but he looks you over. I don't know that you can afford it.
You
Smells
sure
like
about that?
pour in here.
He tells you that he will charge 2,500 gold. For the
Holy
weapon of
shit.
warning.
It is a rare magic item.
Weapon of warning is uncommon.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
That's crazy.
He looks at you. This has come quite in handy to keep me from being ambushed by bandits. It's got to be worth my while to part with it.
Personal weapon. I understand.
1 copper piece.
Vicious warhammer.
2
I'm a
copper
hard
pieces.
bargain.
I wish there was a +1 maul.
Just buy the Vicious Warhammer. We all know that's what you want.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm never gonna roll a 20 in my life, so Or a +1 Warhammer.
There is also a +1 Warhammer.
Yeah, I'll just do the +1 Warhammer.
All right, so
Okay.
that is 200 gold pieces.
Give me something fun, silly, goofy. That's all I'm here for.
Golly.
Molly
Okay,
gun.
you want fun, silly, goofy. I'm trying to think of you.
Hell
Fun,
yeah.
silly, goofy.
An apparatus of Qualish.
No. 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 Oh my
But why not?
gosh.
It was such a hit last time.
It
Yeah, it
was.
really was, and I'm so happy for you that you enjoyed that.
We had an RV. It was awesome.
Okay, this
Back,
individual has one of the feather token anchors. He has a potion of gaseous form. He's got some marvelous pigments. He has a bead of force, oil of slipperiness, dust of sneezing and choking, and he's got a filter of love and dust of dryness.
The dust of
lot
sneezing
of-
and choking
lot
is
of-
practically cloud kill.
It's a lot of single-use items, though. Once they use it, it's gone forever. Then I'd
Are you
wasted
wanting
my gold.
something that's more reusable?
Of course.
Okay.
Something more evergreen than a singular bead of force.
He has a prayer bead of smiting. He
I
has
don't
a
know what
wind
that
fan.
is.
He has a dancing sword, pipes of the sewer.
He has a fucking dancing sword.
How much is the dancing sword?
How much is the fucking
Uh,
dancing sword?
The dancing sword is 1,200 gold.
God damn it.
I ain't got that kind of cheddar.
And then he also has a sword of life stealing.
I ain't got that kind of cheddar.
Will
What if
he
I do a
take
really
loan?
good dance in exchange for the dancing sword? What if I do a really good dance and you discount the dancing sword?
You can certainly try.
All right. I'm gonna do a
Dancing for the
dance.
dancing sword.
I call this one the sword.
It's not
Honestly,
that good of a
probably
dance.
do.
It was only a 14.
He looks at you,
It was a mid dance.
1,200.
Damn.
At least the price didn't go up.
That's a good point.
You know, you raise a hard bargain. 1,250.
That's not.
Shit.
You are rude.
I'll just take the. I'll just take the +1 rapier.
Okay, so go ahead and mark the 200 gold off. And you have a +1 rapier.
How much does he want for the wind fan?
For the wind fan, he wants 600.
He can fucking keep it. Goddamn.
Jesus.
Okay, give me a second. Move on from me. I need to do some
Okay.
tabulating, formulating.
How
Max.
much did you say the second level spell scrolls were? 150?
Or 120.
120. Okay. I guess meta question. Is this like the big vendor that we're going to, or are we going to go to other vendors and see what else they got?
We're at this point assuming that you guys are,
Shopping about.
We're shopping around.
yeah.
These are all the vendors.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and buy a spell scroll for Gust of Wind.
Ooh.
That's the rest of the wind.
Okay.
There wouldn't by chance happen to be a rod that is like very, very difficult to move.
Immovable.
Some might even
Some might
call,
even call
it immovable.
Do we have a bag of holding?
Not at the moment. We can tomorrow morning.
He tells you he does have an immovable rod, for 500.
What the? I took the special fancy feat from the playtest materials. I get a 20% discount when buying a non-magical item. I'm reading that last part right now for the first time, and I'm gonna stop talking now.
How much are third level scrolls?
Third level scrolls. Let me get back to my price chart here real fast. Third level scrolls are 200.
But what if they weren't?
But they are though. If they weren't, then I guess they wouldn't be, but they are.
Would
if there
they
was a-
accept a trade?
What kind of a trade?
I have 5 frozen mugs of soup.
Absolutely not.
Holy shit! This guy's spitting.
Holy shit, you can have one for free!
Let's go.
No!
Okay. Then I'm good. Unless they're fun wizard magic items. For wizards.
Are you a wizard?
On occasion.
Nah, man.
On occasion, please.
I think he's a barbarian. With his age strength.
I'm a wizard every other Wednesday evening.
wizard.
He will bring up that he has a pearl of power.
I guess the question becomes, how much is it?
5,000.
Damn, Aaron, you could have just said no. You think I have 5,000 gold?
I don't know, it's up to you. Do you want to still have a tavern?
Yes.
Sorry guys, I had to take out a loan with the tavern as collateral for this little bead.
Sorry, guys, I'm homeless, but I get an extra spell slot.
Congratulations! Yay!
I've given up the tavern as collateral.
There are
I
also
will-
several iron stones, but you know they're priced at different quantities. If you were looking, I don't know, for an intellect stone, it's gonna cost you 400.
I gotta look up what that does.
Ironstones, don't they give like a +1? No. Maybe?
I don't remember.
Iron
remember.
stones
Do, 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 do.
of intellect, your intelligence score increases by 2 to a max of 20, while the marbled,
Oh.
scarlet, and blue sphere orbits your head. And it does
I don't
require
need that.
attunement.
Is that on use or is that permanent?
As long as it's attuned.
Attuned.
That's permanent, baby.
Per minute.
I'll ask him to hold that for me.
Permanent.
Okay. He will agree and will take down your name. What name do you give him?
I will give him my real legal name.
Do you
That
give him your
means
government
I can
name?
come back
So
and
he
take
will
Yes.
hold it for you.
Because I'm.
Thanks. And just for posterity's sake, maybe that's not so posteritous. Is that a word?
Posterior? Yes.
But sure.
That means booty.
I'll put a 10 gold down payment on it.
Okay. He will agree to hold it for essentially a month at that point.
God damn.
Hell yeah. Alright. I think I'm good.
Okay. Does anyone else have something they were wanting?
Would it be too mean to ask for that list you read out early?
Yes.
Okay.
Of
Okay,
all the
okay.
fun, goofy ones for you?
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's very, very fair. Where did these come from? Can I do a +1 flail?
You can for 200 gold.
Cool, 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 cool.
Flail.
Yeah, you heard me. Additionally, I want to bandy about the marketplace looking for pieces, parts, components that I could use to further development of the project with which we spoke about before.
Take off 5 silver, but you're able to get more of the components that you need, unless, if I'm remembering correct, or well, actually, you take off the appropriate amount, because you had done more looking into that. But you managed to find 1/3 of the resources you're looking for.
I will write that down, but we have to talk about what that means.
Great, okay, noted. So we will discuss that, but you managed to find 1/3 of the resources you need throughout the marketplace here today.
Cool.
Aaron, I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong thing. I did not want Gust of Wind, I wanted Warding Wind. They're both 2nd level. So.
All good, duly noted.
Is it 6 o'clock yet?
It is getting to that point where you start to see the marketplace is kind of winding down. A lot of people are filtering out to the different taverns. You do hear some very loud bardic music coming from the direction of the Vulgar Unicorn, and you turn and head back, as it is now, as the sun begins to start setting, late enough in the evening for you to return to the Shark Tank. As you enter, you notice that the crowd that is here is much more raucous, but there is also a smattering of some different, not necessarily families, here within the area of the tavern and the tap room, but there are some less, I look like I'm ready to go beat the shit out of something individuals kind of scattered about, and you do see a number of individuals heading towards the VIP room this evening.
You walk right in like we belong here, because we do.
All right. As you enter, Ozzy, you do see one individual standing by the VIP room, kind of catches your eye. It's the gentleman you spoke to earlier, and he kind of looks at you and waves you over to him.
Excellent. Okay. And I will just go ahead and...
He will take the money from you, and welcome on in. For you and your friends coming along?
Yes.
Very well. Welcome to the Shark Tank. And you see him open the door, and it descends pretty deeply down on this like spiraled staircase down into the ground beneath you. As you walk, about 3 or 4 minutes pass in this tight corridor before you open up into a loud, jam-packed, I mean, it is almost wall-to-wall bodies. And deep down in the center of the room is a large pit that kind of comes down deep, and you have almost like these viewing railings kind of along the edge where people can stand and cheer. You do see standing in some different areas along the walls what seem to be like different bookies for people to be making and placing bets on different individuals. You also see up at the front of the room kind of stretching out, and several different individuals kind of announcing. You see one Kinku individual who seems to be loudly calling and announcing what's going on within the ring. And you have a Minotaur woman, a Eladrin male, and a Lizard folk man, all of whom are kind of seated alongside on this like area.
Cool.
The 4 blades.
And we're also here to like pick up some dirt on blades, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Filled room, all a large crowded room. They're all focused on the fighting. Should give enough, a good enough cover to get some snooping done.
well, who's snooping and who's not?
Well, I'm not. I'm getting, you know,
You're fighting.
I'm gonna be fighting people.
Is there is there a bar down in this area?
You do see what seems to be kind of a makeshift bar, run by this very rough and tumble, large, a very muscled and heavily scarred half-orc woman who is kind of shouting, and at times you see her kind of grabbing and throwing people away from the bar at times if they get a little bit too rowdy.
Careful, Max.
Max is fine. Sam's not. All right. I'm gonna point towards the bar area and be like, I think I might have a way to pick up information.
I can keep an eye on Ozzy if you want to discuss things with the other patrons. Jameson.
Yes. Is there music down here?
There is some loud, kind of like, as close to metal bardcore as you can kind of get going down here in this area.
Well, if there's any group of people that know shitty places, it's the people that play shitty music at the shitty places.
Hey.
I'm looking at you, anyone that's ever played a house show.
Hey!
You're right. I mean,
So
you're not
I am
wrong.
gonna go to
Our
the
music was
band.
fine.
I'm gonna go to the band and see if I can chat them up and perhaps play with them.
All right. You make your way over. They see that you've got an instrument and just innately grab you and pull you up onto the little stage they're on with them. Roll me a performance check to see how you keep up.
Hell yeah, that's a 19.
All right, with the 19, it takes a second to kind of settle in to some of the tunes that you don't know, but easily enough, you're able to keep pace and keep up with them.
I'll start talking to them, and I go, okay, you play this, and then it'll sound like this. And then I stand in front of them, I start doing a little conducting thing, and I get the flute player to start going like, "Do-do-do-do, ba-da-da-ba-ba, ba-da-da-ba-ba." And I start like, and the trumpet player starts coming in, and then we start playing the final countdown.
Nice.
Incredible.
And I give them okay, so my friend is fighting today, and we're gonna do, and it tapers off, so the audience doesn't know what I'm planning, but it's established that I'm planning something.
Okay. Duly noted.
Oh boy. I'm just hearing the
And,
music
I
in my
will-
head during the fight.
As I'm like chatting, as we're like playing music, I'm kind of chatting them up about like what's going on here, like the four blades and stuff like that. But I'm trying to keep it like a healthy curiosity. I'm not like trying to be like, tell me their secrets. I'm just like, is this what they do here? Like, innocent
Kinda
curiosity.
sick.
All right. Who's next?
Is Ozzy about to jump in this fight?
Up to
Or
Ozzy, does he want to go ahead and get his fight on, or does anybody else have something they would like to do first?
I have something I want to do with Ozzy right before he goes in.
Okay. So we'll say Max, as you walk over and approach, is there anything in particular that you would like?
I'm just gonna go take a seat at the bar, if there are seats.
You can see that there definitely are things that used to be seats that have kind of been cobbled and repaired to best of their ability, but there's not any safe seats in that you see different individuals kind of pushing, shoving, yelling, fighting with each other, kind of even getting a little bit rowdy right along the front of the bar.
Okay. Then I will avoid the seats and just kind of go to one edge of the bar closest to, I guess, the wall, and just kind of lean up and wait to be helped.
All right, and easily enough, a few seconds pass before she turns. What do you have?
You got a firebolt?
Firebolt coming right up. Slams
Not a cold bolt?
down one in front of you, and you see that there are a few different spots that look like the mug probably could be cleaner, but it's better shape than you anticipated for the current situation you're in. It's 3 copper for you.
I'll pass her 3 copper. Is this authentic?
Authentic. Hell's if I know anymore. We can't get this shit half the time anyways.
Is it just out of stock or
Well,
hard to come by?
heard that tavern just doesn't make it like they used to anymore, and it's been hard to get some of the old supply.
Mhm.
Damn.
Well, is this a commonality, kind of referring to the Fight Club?
It's more or less like this.
And they have you working every night?
Most nights, at least.
What can you tell me about some of these fighters, especially that one? I'll point to the one that I think Ozzy's about to fight.
Roll me just a straight nat 20. Or not nat 20, but a d20.
Roll that 20. Roll that 20 now.
Kill child!
No pressure. No pressure. Okay, that's a 12.
Okay, well, it's not a nat 20, so...
Oh, no.
You point and actually
two,
managed
isn't
to get an individual who seems to be heading in the same direction as Ozzy at this moment. And she kind of turns, looks at you. He's pretty tough, hasn't been beat in a while, but also it might be a bit rusty, hasn't been in the ring for a while.
Well, the friend I got, he's a tough guy. Can you believe it that, fists literally made of steel can crack open a skull like that?
Love to see it. And you see her kind of turn, not even like leaving eye contact with you in this conversation, grab an individual and kind of push them back down into a chair. I said, sit down. And she turns back to you. It's about time that we had somebody come in here who actually knew what they were doing and that made a fight worth a damn. It's been too long since I've seen the four blades actually have to be put to work in there.
Is that something you'd love to see? Because
course.
you seem busy over here. I mean,
The better the fighting, the better the pay.
you really gotta see this. Tell you what, I 10 bar at a small place over in the next town. I could take over. You can go watch the fight.
Roll me
I
a
don't take any
persuasion
tips or
check.
anything. I'd love to, because I'm proficient in that. All right, that is a 21.
Against her nat 20 for a 19, you were successcul.
Bartender with negative charisma.
Let's go.
Does she look like she's got positive charisma right now? All right,
just
she
be
looks at
intimidation.
you for one fight. And the tips are mine.
I'll respond back in Orcish. What do you have to drink?
Give me one of those fireball, and she kind of gives you a punch, and it's like a camaraderie punch on your shoulder, but she definitely overestimates how hard she's punching you, and you feel your whole arm go dead for a second. I'll be back.
I'll absolutely enjoy.
She wanders off. Ozzy, as you are approaching... Oh,
sorry.
yes, Max, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, as I'm tending bar now, I'm going to be trying to collect as much information as I can. We don't have to roleplay through it, but what can I find out about the 4 bitches?
Duly noted. Roll me a charisma check of your choosing to see how well you go about working this crowd. While she's
That's going to
gone.
be persuasion again.
Okay.
All right, that is a 19.
With a 19, okay, I'm gonna come back to you.
Bet.
All right. Ozzy, as you approach where it seems like the fighters are kind of queuing up, you see the individual you had picked out before kind of coming up alongside you and just feeling ready to get your ass beat.
If you say so.
Good on you. And he gives you a little punch to the shoulder, kind of in that again,
Punk.
yeah. Well, I'll see you in there in a minute. Get yourself signed up. And he walks away off to go talk to somebody else who seems to be handling fighters. Alder, as you were with him, you see him going through the process, signing up. You announced you already had made your payment. They agree. And they tell you that you will be the next fight.
Rules? Fists only, obviously. But any other rules?
Fists only. We prefer you don't kill anybody just because it's a little bit harder to deal with, but we do have a few healers on site in case it comes to that.
So if my, so my body can change a bit. Is that off the table?
Everything else is on the table, brother.
That's what I'd like to hear.
Gross. Pick that up off the table.
No, it's better than on the floor.
Good God, Ozzy, what are you packing?
Oh,
Big.
Titanium Johnson.
He's got a Titanium Johnson, all right.
they call him Long Dick Johnson.
All right,
of the long
Ozzy.
dick.
When you signed up, what name did you use?
Titanium Johnson.
Hell
All
yeah!
right.
I gotta go with the bit, man.
As Ozzy is getting ready to get into the ring, limbering up a little bit, moving around, I'm going to take off my pack and throw a towel over my shoulder, so I'm like his coach. And
Okay.
I'm gonna get down in his face. I'm gonna psych him up a little bit, and then I'm gonna pull out an oil can, and I'm gonna shoot him up with some oil in a few of his more critical joints as to get ready. I'm also going to just like pat his right arm where a sledgehammer is concealed. Just say, remember, just in case. But I'm gonna use this moment to cast heroism on Ozzy.
All right.
So he is immune to the effects of fear and gains temporary hit points equal to my spellcasting ability modifier at the start of his turn, which is 5. So he gets 5 temp HP at the start of each turn.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Duly
It's all
noted.
coming together.
All right, Ozzy. Is there
Mhm.
anything else you'd like to do to prepare as they fix to put you into the ring?
No, let's fucking do it.
Give him a big slap on the rump.
Just... Is this through the fire and the flames?
It is.
Perfect.
Oh, I will say, I do wish I had extra attack. That I wish I had.
As you get called into the ring, you see them literally dragging the unconscious, thoroughly bloodied body of another fighter past you as you step down into the ring. You see the other individual you're fighting kind of doing a lot of the like showy, oh yeah, I gotta get ready with his like arms kind of stretching and warming up.
As he gets down in the ring, I look into the other bars and I go, "This one's for Titanium Johnson!" And we start playing a bard version of Iron Man.
It's adamantine man.
Titanium, man.
Alright, easily done, easily done.
And I start
as-
hyping the crowd up. Titanium Johnson!
And you hear the Kinku at the front of the room with the 4 blades. Thaumaturgied voice again break out over the crowd. This battle! Titanium Johnson versus Rock Battleborn! And you hear a loud roar of the crowd. You hear the music around you, Ozzy, as you're focusing in. You hear Titanium Johnson ba-dum, ba-dum, in the background.
Can I use that to inspire him, or is that cheating?
I will say you may use that to inspire him, as long as...
Okay.
Well, no, we'll call it within range. Sure, yeah.
Bet.
All right, Ozzy, at the start of your
Mhm.
fight, go ahead and roll me initiative.
Alright.
Can we go take a break? Like a really quick one? Like a 5-minute one?
Absolutely. Go ahead, hit me with your initiative, Ozzy.
15.
All right, with the 15, you will be going first in this battle, and we will be back after a 5-minute break. All right. As the fight kicks off, you're sitting here, Ozzy. You hear the crowd roaring around you. You hear the Bardcore Iron Man being played in the background, cheering you on. It is your turn. What do you do?
All right. Well, first things first. Ozzy's gonna walk out and just kind of like roll his shoulders for a second, and as he takes one step forward, and as he places it forward, the ground underneath his foot cracks a little as his body starts to shift, and like the plates on his body start like shifting and moving, and he's gonna start getting bigger and bigger, and he's just gonna look, and the closest thing you have ever seen to a smile on his face is going to appear as he stares down his opponent and starts to grow. I'm gonna use my bonus action to use Giant's Might.
Yeah.
And as I get ready to go up to him, I'm like, I hope you are ready for this. And then I'm just gonna go for it and just haul.
All right, roll to hit for me.
Oh boy.
Remember, you have inspiration.
I do. Is that a D6 right now?
Mhm.
Okay. Is this dude actually wearing armor?
He is wearing some leather armor.
You're made of armor. Fuck him.
I am made of armor. I'm just curious. I'm debating on whether or not this is low enough to justify using the inspiration or not. Fuck it. I want to make sure I hit in the first one. Just good opening. 21.
All right, that will hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Cool. 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and as I hit him, I'm gonna hit him square. Like I'm gonna try hit him center of mass, and I'm going to use Crusher to push him back 5 feet.
Nice.
So like I'm gonna hit him, and he's gonna stumble back, and I'm just like it's almost like the face of someone who, you know, this like in like anime or TV shows and stuff is like the face of someone who's like uncomfortably enjoying this. That's the kind of face that he's giving him, and he's totally locked in on this guy.
All right. And
I'm trying to unnerve him.
You hear loud shouts go up. You hear people calling for last minute bets. As this guy, you hit him, and he just slides backwards across the ground. You see him dig his feet and kind of steadying himself. You see him kind of try to like keep this intense face on, though you can see a little bit that his body's kind of spasming, trying to catch its breath a bit before he comes and runs up at you and just swings wildly at your face. I don't know why I picked up my pen instead of my die.
I hope he can reach it.
Oof. With a 6 on that first one, he then tries to come back with his second attack. That is a 17 to hit.
That is my armor class.
All right, so with that 17, he will hit you for 6 points of damage back.
1 point of damage.
6 points
Wow.
of damage.
Oh,
Temporary hit points. Thank you very much.
Oh,
1 point
true.
of damage.
Fair.
Which I will then get back at the start of my turn, right?
Damn right.
Hell yeah.
All right,
You
at
better
the end
start
of
rolling
his
some higher
turn,
numbers.
that's up to you now, Ozzy.
Cool. That goes up to 5 again. And, I mean, the only one, it's just swinging, baby. We're just swinging. You know what? This one. Ooh, that's only an 8. Not that one.
8 will
apparently.
not hit, unfortunately. As you go to swing again, he just dodges and rolls out of the way as you slam into where he would have been.
Okie dokie.
All right, on his turn, he's going to turn around and again, trying to go at this point, moving more quickly. A 9 will miss for the first attack. And a 19 on the second attack as he comes and swings around for 5 points of damage as he swings and slams into your knee. That brings us back to you.
Ooh, 13.
A 13 is his AC. Go ahead and roll that
Rad.
damage.
That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and same deal. Like as I hit him, I'm going to push him 5 feet,
All right, duly noted.
and then every time I push him, I just move into the space that he was in. Like it's just a constant boom, advance, boom, advance, boom, advance.
All right, he's about 15 feet away from the edge of the ring at this point, and you see that he just kind of stops, grits down, and runs back up to start swinging at you again. With a critical failure, he is going to try to come and get to you, and as you move, he puts his whole body into this and goes tumbling down on the ground from just the sheer weight that goes past that he wasn't anticipating missing. As he stands back up, he's unable to take a second attack this turn. It is back to you.
Ooh. Hang on, that's how math. Oh, that's another 13. Duh. The same thing I rolled last time. I was about to do math and then remembered, wait, I rolled that last time too.
That's such a mood, though.
8 points of bludgeoning damage and another 5 feet back towards the wall. And then I advance forward.
All right, this time
I'm trying to psych this guy out so hard.
He runs at you screaming. A 16 to hit and a 17 to hit. So he'll hit you on the second for his max damage at 7 points of damage.
Oh no.
And he just starts trying to wail on you as he goes. That brings us back to you.
Ooh, that's tough. 9. No dice. No dice.
Nope. And this time as you swing back, you just watch as he kind of ducks underneath your hand and goes back to start swinging at you. First one is a nat 20 for a 23 to hit. Second one is a 19. So that first hit will deal 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And the second will deal 5 points of damage.
Okay.
That brings us back to you.
Ooh, that is a 19 to hit.
That hits. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Oh, that is 9 points of bludgeoning damage and another 5 feet.
As you hit him again here, you see him slide back, and at this point you see that he is now actively wiping away blood from his nose. You can see there's a few spots where he seems to wince a little bit as he moves now, as he runs back up towards you again, trying to take whatever space he can that you've pushed him through. That's an 8 and a 12, both wildly missing. Your turn.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a natural 17, so.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
That is 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And this is the last 5 feet till he's on the wall, right?
Yep, so now he is slammed up against the wall as you step forward again.
And I'm just lean ever closer, the smile getting a little bigger.
Alright, he turns and looks up at you, spits out. You see where he spits some blood. One of his teeth comes out too as he starts swinging at you again. That is a 14 to hit and a 16 to hit. As he does, he turns and tries to then, swinging, missing, trying to take advantage of any perceived distraction, slips like kind of down past you, like through your legs, as he tries to step away outside of your attack range.
I'll take that. That's a natural 20.
Get fucked.
All right.
Oh, it's about. Oh,
Oh, boy. So as he tries
boy.
to desperately make his way away from the wall back towards the center of the ring, you just turn around. How do you get him in this nat 20?
It's like he goes to slip by me, and I immediately whip around and go too slow, and then just hammer fist down onto his back as he's trying to run away.
All right, roll me damage.
Well, that is unfortunate. That's only 8 points of damage, but now I have advantage on my next attack roll against him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he stumbles the last 5 feet forward, trying to get back to the center of the ring. You see him turn and just try to like ready himself, hands back up as he looks at you. That is your turn.
That is a dirty 20.
That-
Oh wait, I have advantage. Hang on, let me make sure I don't crit. Oh, that's a 19, not a 20.
Damn.
That's
Womp womp.
womp womp. It would have been pretty funny if I could just chain those advantages.
Yeah, for real, Jesus.
That is 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, noted. As he turns,
I'm gonna keep pushing him too.
Yep. So he slides back across. You hear like the crowd is getting like uproars all across. That's an 8 to hit. That is a 22 to hit as he comes and he slams straight into the side of your kneecap, trying to see if you can like take your leg out. That is 7 points of damage to you.
Okay.
All right, you're up.
Oh, I have to do math. Hang on. 14.
That will hit. Roll me damage.
That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage and another 5 feet.
And he is starting to look like absolute shit. As you hit him, he comes wailing up at you. It's a 7. And an 18.
Suplex him. Suplex him.
That's how I want to finish it.
Oh, you're about to.
For 4 points of damage to you.
You can't even break 10 HP.
Piece of
I
all
Embarrassing.
I'm just bullying this guy. Why does this feel so good? I feel like an asshole.
The point.
And yeah, that's a natural. That's a 15 on the die. So.
Go ahead and tell me how you finish this fight, Ozzy.
Oh, absolutely. So
From the
like
top rope.
he hits again, and it just noticeably does not faze him, and he looks down at him and goes, "You tried." And he's just gonna grab him by the front of his shirt, and he's just gonna pick him up with one hand, and then just like right down on his back, like square slam him down on the back, and then he's just gonna put his foot right on top of his chest, and just look down at him and go, "Eh."
And the last thing he sees before he loses consciousness is just you, down at him. As he loses consciousness, the crowd goes wild all around you, screaming, cheering. You hear announced, Titanium Johnson has won it! And you hear the crowd go crazy. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
As the thing is playing Iron Man.
How many hit points of damage did you actually take in that fight?
Hang on, I'll do math. 14.
Would have been a hell of a lot more.
Out of
And it
how many?
still
is your
wouldn't have
max?
Say what?
What's your max?
62.
Yeah, this guy had 66 hit points.
So, this guy was supposed to be a pretty good matchup, and you just fucking wiped the floor
Well,
with him.
the thing that made it better was the fact that Giant Smite specifies weapon or unarmed attacks, you get a d6.
That's crazy. I was wondering why you were rolling, but now I know. I thought you maybe took Tavern Brawler or something, but that's even better.
Yeah, Giant Smite gives you a d6 on unarmed attacks too.
Dude.
So I wanted to specify before the fight, because I was like, how much am I actually going to have to try? How hard am I going to have to sweat during this fight?
Aw, well, you fucking kicked his ass, dude. Is there anything that anyone wants to plug before we go for the evening?
Caffeine is a drug. Do drugs, kids.
Bradley. Unbelievable.
Gotta cap the session off how we started it.
We've
Remember,
come full
kids.
circle.
Only losers do drugs.
Remember, Rose will stream sometimes. Be on the lookout. Remember,
And get off her
Orfeo
back.
used to stream sometimes, and he will again soon.
It's
Keep an eye out. Remember, Ladies' Night is happening. Insert
Sunday.
date here. Sunday. Rhyme of the Frost Maiden is happening. Insert date over there.
September 15th.
Have a good day.
It's just...
That being said,
And remember-
you guys, we are going to. Oh, go ahead.
When Titanium Johnson arrives, no
No
one
one
survives.
No one survives.
We'll get that on a shirt. I've
I want
already,
it.
I already
know.
drafted up. I already drafted up the design. We
I
just
don't
gotta
know
get
if I can
some.
walk
We
around
need
with
to
a
get.
t-shirt that says Titanium Johnson.
We need to get. I mean, we have one that says Gentlemen's Club on it.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like we're just our brand is t-shirts that you can't wear with your like around your parents. Like that's just our brand. So I think we should keep it going. We just need to commission another artist to draw Ozzy again, so we have like some unique art for it, and then I could draft a design, and it'll be perfect.
On that lovely note, you guys, we are going to raid out. We are going to go make a new friend and raid over to Effector of Change. They are currently playing their D&D campaign. This session or their campaign itself is called Frog Pond Academy, so it feels kind of appropriate for us to go as Commodore Frug over here has brought a new series of Titanium Johnson jokes to us. If you guys are feeling up to coming and hanging out with us when we go to do that, it would mean the world to them and to us, and we would love to see you kind of come spread some love, positivity. Their pronouns are he, they, and they are a cozy queer RPG streamer who cultivates cozy chaos. So if you guys are into that, please come along with us, and otherwise we'll see you guys next time. Bye!